Okay, so what we're doing today, the last time I had the boat out, we had a overheating issue. Probably a minute after we got on plane, I had an alarm went off, and I looked at the temperature gauge, and it was at around 210, I guess. That's when the alarm went off, and I backed off the throttle, and as soon as I backed off the throttle and got back down off plane, the temperature gauge dropped back to about 140, which is where it normally runs, 140 to 160. And so I suspect the impeller needs replaced. We bought this boat last year, and we've got 2 seasons for sure on the impeller that's in it. I'm not for sure how long it's been in there, so that's going to be the first thing I do to try to resolve the overheating problem. So my speedometer don't work. I use a GPS on my phone, but right there's about 2,000 RPMs, and my temperature gauge, it won't go over 160. It probably won't even move from where it's at right now at 2,000 RPMs, but I'll show you what it does. Let me close this window to get rid of some of the wind noise. Hold on. Alright, so I'll speed up to get on plane, and you can watch the temperature gauge start to climb. I won't let it get over about 190, and I'll back it back off. Use my trim tabs to level everything out here. Alright, so the temperature's starting to climb. Right now we're at 3,600 RPMs. I would guess we're running probably 25 miles per hour maybe. You see the temperature climbing. Right now we're at about almost 180, which is fine. See, it's still climbing. See, it will cool at low RPMs. It just can't keep cool. See there, starting to climb pretty quick now. So I'm gonna back off the throttle, put it back to 2,000 RPMs, and like I said, the alarm on this thing don't go off till like 210. See, the temperature's starting to drop already that quick. So I suspect the impeller will fix that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll do a little bit of this. It went right back down to normal. So I suspect the impeller will resolve that, and I'm gonna make a video of changing the impeller, and then I'll bring the boat back to the lake and make a video and see if it fixed it. But during this process, I took all this video with the intention of making a really detailed how-to video, and I've decided not to do that just because when you do a search on Alpha 1 Gen 2 impeller replacement, there's so many of them there. It'd be stupid for me to sit and try to act like I'm breaking new ground here. And I used some of those videos to show me how to do it. So it'd be stupid for me to turn around and make another how-to video when I got my information from somebody else's how-to video. So I decided not to make one. Okay, so I've got a couple issues here. I just removed the last bolt to drop down the lower unit, and I didn't have to pry it all. As soon as when I did this bolt first, or I'm sorry, this bolt, I did that one first, then I did this one second, and I did these 2 front ones right here, and then I did this one, and then that was the only one holding it. And when I broke it loose, as I was taking the nut off, it was lowering, the lower unit was separating on its own, so I didn't have to pry it at all. But anyway, I dropped it down, set it on the ground, and already I noticed a piece of an O-ring The O-ring here on the oil gallery that carries the gear oil up to the upper unit was broken. Right there's I laid it right there. And I have got my main concern. I've got this piece that's just laying here. I don't know what this piece is. I don't remember seeing it in any of the other videos. And more important, it's worn out. I believe I don't think it's supposed to be wore like that. So like I said, it was laying there. So I've got to figure out what this is and what it goes to and why it's worn out. Okay. Also, this seal, I forgot what they call this. It's to stop water from spraying out of the housing up. It's dry rotted and cracked. I don't know if that's normal, but it is. Here's the piece I'm gonna have to replace from my speedometer to repair it. But that's what you got when you take it off initially. That's what you get. There should be a rubber piece that goes here that sometimes it stays on here and sometimes it don't. If it's not there, it's I don't know if you can see, I don't know how much light's in there, but it's in there, right there. I'll have to pull it out. It comes with the kit, so it will be replaced. But I've not ordered the kit yet because I have to see if this housing needs replaced by looking at the inside, checking it for wear. There's two different kits. One of them comes without this housing. This is supposed to be stainless. It doesn't look stainless to me. I'll have to look from the inside. Yeah, it's stainless. So one kit is around $100. It comes with this housing. If this housing doesn't need replaced, I'll get the kit that don't come with this housing, and it's between $40 and $50, depending on the brand you get. I'm not looking for the cheapest one I can find. I actually may see how much mercruiser OEM parts. If they're not a lot more, I may just go with them. But I don't want the cheapest stuff I can find because I don't want to run into problems later because of poor quality replacement parts. So anyway, that's what we got. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to carry this thing over there and get it on a table or somewhere where I can get this taken apart and inspect it. That way I can get my replacement parts ordered. Also, I'm checking the splines here. They look to be in really good shape. So my outdrive seems to be in pretty good condition, which I'm happy about. But like I said, next thing to do, remove the water pump assembly, inspect for damage, and get the replacement parts ordered. So now I got it coming apart. The 4 bolts are the same size on this one. I don't have 2 different sizes.
Oh. Ooh, I see why it wasn't perfect.
Alright, so I removed the housing. And I do need an impeller. Mine's bad. It's really soft. The ends are worn out. And let's see. I'm inspecting the inside of this, and I need a housing. So I'm gonna buy the kit. You can feel it's rough and it's got grooves in it. And they said to look for a smooth surface with no wear. Mine obviously has wear. There's deep grooves wore in it right here. And most importantly, just the impellers wore. I'm happy to see that it's not missing any pieces, because they said if pieces are missing, that they're most likely stuck. They usually get stuck inside the tube that carries it up to the engine. But so that's what I ended up getting into. It definitely needs replaced. So okay, so I got my kit. It came with this, all the O-rings and seals, the impeller, the gaskets, backing plate, and the housing. This here, I didn't know it was going to come with this. that is this seal right here. It go like that. It's got a seal. I'm trying to remove mine, and it's got these holes on each side of it, and the way I was doing it was putting a screwdriver in. That was a hole and prying, and it almost came out and it broke. It broke the top half. Now I did the other side and it did the same thing. So now where I'm at, what I'm doing is to try to remove this seal, I'm going to drill 2 new holes on each side and use 2 screwdrivers, 1 on each side at the same time. I imagine there's probably a tool to do this to where it wouldn't break, but I didn't have it, so I'm having to do it without the tool, if there is even such a tool. But I'm going to try getting this thing out without tearing anything up. Alright, so that worked. I had a little help from my dad. I drilled those 2 holes and pried on it from both sides at the same time, and it popped out, and then the seal just slides right off. I got that seal in there to bed it, get it all the way down in there. I'm taking the old seal, putting it on top of it. I'm putting the old seal on top of it, and then using this piece of pipe so I got the old seal on top of it, then the piece of pipe, and I'm going to hit the pipe up here to drive that seal down in there and bed it. So it worked. You did it and tapped it about 3 times and knocked it down in there, and you can see that it's seated, and it opened up the groove for the pin, the drive pin for the pump. I ordered my parts for my speedometer. This is the parts I need. I found them online. What you're going to look for is Alpha 1 Gen 2 speedometer connector. That's in between the upper unit and the drive shaft housing, I think is what this piece is called. But here's the tube that works your speedometer. You see how my tip is broken off and it still has the zip tie? That's where the other end goes that came with this kit. Now I'm going to try to remove this. I got to try to get this without messing up my tube. I'm going to set this camera down. Now I'm going to slide this end of the tube of the fitting inside the tube, which I just did. And I want to put the zip tie on. And I'll tighten it with some pliers. But I just got it, it's finished. So when we're done, this is what it'll be. I still have to tighten the zip tie. Now this will, when the lower unit is put back into position, when I raise the lower unit back into position, up here the other end will fit through this hole right here, and then this will just snap down on top of it. That's what I'm going to do now, and then we'll see if that, when I put the boat back in the water, hopefully this afternoon, when I get this lower unit put back on, the water pump service is completed. I've changed the impeller, and now I just got to put everything back in place and tighten that zip tie, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully I'll be able to get it back in the water this afternoon, and I'll make a video to see if this cooling issue and the speedometer issue is resolved. I don't know.
There you go. That's it. Your end up here, Dennis. You're right in the hole too. I mean, you're up in it.
All right, let's see. Can you get that nut started on that stud?
Yep. The stud is in the back, ain't it?
I don't know. I can't see it.
I did.
All right, so I went to Walmart and bought this Shoreline gear oil pump. It was like $7, and you have to have it to do this right. You've got to have it. Fill it from the bottom. with the vent tube open. This is the vent, you got it open. And it's supposed to take, start pumping it. It's supposed to fill it, keep filling it until it starts to come out up here. And mine don't have a monitor in the engine bay like it's supposed to have, so I don't know if it's been removed or what, but it doesn't have one in there. So I'm gonna fill it until it starts to come out up here. I see the oil at the top, so it should start running out. There it comes.
There it comes. Oh yeah, there it comes.
So it's full. Now I'll stick the vent. I'll put the vent back in. Something I just spotted here that I've not seen mentioned in any other videos. There was another plug up here. It said oil level, so I thought it was a vent. I was gonna open it and put more oil in it till it came out here, but when I took it off, it's a dipstick tube, or a dipstick. And I cleaned it off, and the oil level is right at the full mark with where I just filled it to here. So that dipstick comes down to here. So in the future, when I check my oil level, I'll check it here. That's why mine don't have a monitor in the engine bay. But I hadn't seen that mentioned in any other videos, so I guess some of the Alpha 1 Gen 2s, that's what I have here. I guess some of them, this is where you check the oil level.
Right.
I used marine grease and greased the 3 grease fittings I know of. There may be more. I've only found 3. Got this one here, and this one here, and then this one here. These 2 are for the pivot point, and then this one here is for the gimbal bearing. That one right there is. So anyway, it's ready to go back to the water. Okay, so I brought the boat back to the water, relaunched it, and just skims. That's about 22 miles per hour. Temperature's still holding up. I think we might have resolved our issues. I'll keep an eye, and if anything comes up and I have problems again, I'll make another video of what I have to do to resolve them. But looks like it was a success. If this video helped you at all, if you enjoyed watching it, don't forget to click the like, subscribe. There'll be more to come, boat related, cabin cruiser related. Most of them will be coming from Watts Bar Lake. Till next time, have a good one.